Welcome to the Shoestring CMO. I am business coach Wendy Lawson, and I help micro business owners quintuple, that's 5 times, their marketing impact on 5 hours a week or less, and while operating on a shoestring budget. So if you've got big dreams, if you've got big hopes, if you've got big plans, but you don't have a big pile of cash and you don't have all the time in the world, you are in the right place. Now, in this special video series, I've been covering the 10 different types of promotional strategies that you can use for your micro business. And today we're going to talk about public relations. Now, before you say, whoa, I can't afford a publicist, I don't know people, that's not for me, I want you to hear me out because there are 4 ideas that I have for you that can help you effectively implement a public relations strategy. But as always, before we get to that, I want you to remember those 3 questions that you have to ask yourself before you decide to implement any promotional strategy. Number 1 is, does this strategy support my sales goal? If it does not support your sales goal, it's not a good strategy for you. Remember, marketing supports sales. We're in business to make money. So how do we do that? We do that through sales. How do we get to sales? Through marketing. So if it doesn't support your sales goal, it's not a good strategy for you right now. Put it on the shelf, come back to it later. Number 2, is this strategy a good way to connect with my ideal client or target market? If it's not the right strategy for you. But it's not enough just to be a good strategy. It needs to be one of the best. So is this the best way to reach them? It doesn't have to be the ultimate best, but it needs to be within the top 3 because you have limited time, limited resources. You can't implement all the strategies without spending money or investing a lot of time. So you want to focus on the top 2 or 3 strategies that are going to work for you. And finally, is this strategy within my budget? This strategy is free 50 free, so it should be within your budget, but that doesn't mean that it's the right strategy for you. So in the last video, we talked about paid advertising, right? And paid advertising is focusing on paid placements in other people's channels. Public relation, on the other hand, it's still about getting placements on other people's channels, but instead of paid, it's considered earned placements or earned media. That's a phrase you'll hear a lot in public relations, is earned placement, earned media. So this means you don't pay for the inclusion, right? You're not paying for it. You earned it. Now, how do you earn that inclusion? It's really simple. You are offering value. You're either offering value to the reader, you're offering value by being a source to the reporter or editor. So instead of paying for it, we're earning it by providing something of value. Now, most people think of public relations as having, an article in the newspaper, being quoted in the newspaper, or being interviewed on a morning TV show or on the radio. But there is so much more available to micro business owners than just that traditional getting that inclusion on TV or radio. And really, anywhere that you can get exposure on a channel that you don't own is a public relations strategy. So I want to give you 4 things to think about, 4 ways that you can get that exposure for free, that earned exposure. So the first one is being a guest appearance, right? Doing a guest appearance on media. Now, that doesn't mean appearing on a local TV station. That doesn't mean, it doesn't exclusively mean appearing on a local TV station or, doing a radio interview or sending out a press release to your local newspaper. It can mean those things, but I want you to think a little bit differently because really you can be a guest on someone's blog. You can be a guest on someone's podcast or, a live stream someone does on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. You can be a guest on their live broadcast. All of those are guest appearances, right? You don't own that channel. You're a guest on there. So you're earning that placement. That's free exposure. And that is great. And that is public relations. So, the more you position your expertise, because you are an expert, you know things, you are, okay? The more you position your expertise, the more value you provide to that publisher, whether it's a mommy blogger or your local TV news morning show. So really, there are a lot of opportunities for you to be a guest on someone else's media, someone else's channel. Number 2, public speaking at events. I know this makes you a little twitchy. You're thinking, I'm not ready to go stand on stage and speak to the masses, speak to 50,000 people, right? We're not talking about going and speaking before the Super Bowl or something at some big event. This can be as simple as sharing your knowledge by being a speaker at a very small event. You could speak at the library or speak at your networking group, but it's all about providing value to the people who are listening to you, right? It's not a sales pitch, it's providing value. So when you're a public speaker at an event like that, that is part of your PR strategy. What's great about that is not only are you getting the earned exposure actually at the event, so you're speaking at the event and the attendees now know who you are and have positive thoughts of you, right? When they think of your brands, they have a positive experience that they're tying to that. But you can also then share the photos or share the recaps, share the experience of what happened on other media after the fact, and then get additional exposure. So you did the public event, and then you post that or you share that, or whoever the event organizer was shares that, and now you get additional exposure. The third way to implement a PR strategy that doesn't cost you anything and it's really perfect for micro business owners is applying for awards or recognition. Now, I know that sounds a little weird, but I will tell you, honestly, applying for awards and getting recognition is really a staple in the public relations industry. It really is. Public relations practitioners, that's a big part of their job, is making sure that they're getting recognition, that they're getting awards, because it's all about having that positive view of the company in the marketplace. So, not only does getting an award or being recognized deliver that earned media through the organization that issued the award, but again, same as public speaking, you can then take that award that you've received and share that broader, right? So you're getting additional mentions out of that, and it really is portraying your micro business in a positive light. And then the fourth thing that you can do is it really ties into charitable contributions. Okay. So you can publicly support a nonprofit organization through either financial assistance or through donating your time, right? Or part of, giving them presence, somehow supporting them. Doesn't have to be money or time. You can share them with your audience, right? But that can be part of your public relations strategy, because you're supporting a nonprofit organization that is aligned with who you are in business, is aligned with your brand. And now that's portraying you in a positive light. So there's really 4 ways beyond just, sending out press releases and doing generic, what you may have believed a public relations strategy would be. There's 4 ways that you can really leverage that for your micro business. So I want to know if you intend to, if public relations strategy is part of your overall marketing for your business. So tell me in the comments. If you are not subscribing to this channel, you should. And not only that, make sure you turn on notifications so that you don't miss when the next video in this series comes out. So, Rockstar, keep on rocking, and I'll see you next time. Strategy, you want to drill down just a little bit and say